Are you ready to rock and roll?
She's got to start the Zoom. Okay, got it. Rose.
Any committee reports?
Do you mind to start the meeting again?
This public meeting is now called to order. Do you have any committee reports?
No.
Mail, phone messages,
No,
public inquiries,
not that I know. Anyone?
approval of minutes?
No.
What, at the, okay. Notice of intent, 1/28/1880.
We'll be continuing it to November 15th.
I need a motion to continue.
Make a motion to continue to.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Notice of intent, 6 Gale Road.
Will be continued to November 15th.
Notice of intent, lot 4,
We need a motion.
oh, I'm sorry, need a motion to close the hearing?
Continue.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Lot 4B, Oxbow Road.
Anyone here for Oxbow Road? Anyone on Zoom for Oxbow Road? We will continue to November 15th.
I need a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 28 Curtis Hill Road and New Spencer Road.
Anyone here for Spencer Road? Will be
I
continued.
need a motion to continue. I like these meetings.
Motion.
Party is over though.
Yeah. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. 23 Roberts Boulevard.
Go right ahead. So I can just introduce, so Ken filed for an RDA. Previously, the commission voted to issue a positive determination due to proximity to the lake. So we're requesting him to file a notice of intent, and here he is. You can present your project.
Right, I've got a little scope of work to give to everybody.
I can pass along.
Thank you.
Yep. Pass along. Some pictures. Yeah, you saw it before. Yep.
Should I have enough?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 of them, yeah.
So just let me know what are you proposing.
I'm building rebuilding a wall that has caved in on the side of my patio. So I've got a scope of work on everything that I'm planning on doing. It's pretty basic. It's already outlined in the application for DEP that I made.
What materials are you using?
I'm using some 3/4 stone and trying to reuse some of the stone dust that I've already got on my patio. And I'll be using some new 6-inch block, concrete block, 6x16s, two rows high, to fill in where I'll be removing a 12-foot long area.
No heavy equipment going in there.
No, I'm
What
gonna do it all
equip-
by hand.
What
Alright.
equipment are you gonna be bringing? You said you had to use some type of.
I was gonna use a small Kubota tractor with a 4-foot bucket just to get the blocks down closer to the project, so I don't, because they'll be coming from up on the street all the way down.
Any questions?
No DEP number with this. Do you have
No.
any questions?
I don't have any concern with the project. I don't know if there are
we
any
need-
butters.
Any of the butters have any questions?
So I'll recommend continue for November 15th, because we don't have a DEP number yet.
Okay, we're still waiting for.
We're waiting for
DEP.
that. Yep.
All right,
Other than that, you should be all set to go.
okay,
Okay?
all
I
right,
need
So
a
I need a
motion to
motion.
continue.
Make a motion to
Thank
continue.
you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 65 Lakeview Drive.
Won't go too far, right? Have a good night. How are you? Very nice, very good. Go ahead and present the project, yeah?
Would you guys like me to set up the board also,
Uh,
just to see?
Do you wanna take a little? That would be nice, yes?
Yeah, that would
if
be
you don't
better.
mind. Yeah?
Yeah, so we can see what's going on.
I can pass it around, but you can set that up. How are you? All right, nice to meet you. Straightforward project, repair of retaining wall. They came in front of us in the past, what you need to check on that? To do their Lakeview Drive, the, where is it? The
way?
stairs. Yeah, right here. No, just as clinical.
Oh, these
Right.
steps?
Yeah, yeah, they did their parking.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Has that, I just have a question, has that order of conditions been closed?
Yes,
You have?
Yep.
A certificate of compliance was issued to you for that?
yes.
I just forgot to check on that, we did that, perfect, okay.
So good evening, my name's David Feist, I'm with CMG, I'm the project civil engineer. With me tonight's the property owner, Jen Vos. We were here a few years ago, where they built some parking spaces and retaining wall in front of the property, and removed, actually, this whole side yard was all pavement all the way down to the lake, and that was removed a few years ago. We received a certificate of compliance for that. Now we're back along the lake here. We have about a 3 or 4 foot high retaining wall that's in pretty bad disrepair and falling into the lake. So in order to repair it, they're proposing during the lake drawdown period, to basically have their contractor Lakeside Masonry come in, remove the existing wall and replace it with a 3-to-1 slope of 10 to 12 inch riprap along the edge. And at the same time, construct a 20 by 30 beach area using clean plain sand, clay sand in this area here. I know Rose had mentioned that making sure there's no phosphorus in the sand was one of the important parts. And I'd be happy to answer, and the extent of the work is really down here. We also have an erosion control plan, so that during construction, they can minimize any sort of, erosion. And they, again, plan to do it during the lake drawdown period.
How long is the wall?
Roughly about 105 feet or so, which is about the width of the,
That was an existing wall already?
yes.
Yep. I had a site visit there yesterday. It does.
No issues?
No, I have none. I was just more concerned with the sand and the beach area they're proposing. There is a part of the riverfront area there that Art mentioned, yep,
Yep.
the last time. So you did address that on the NOI, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep,
We accounted for that, and there's just some additional fee that goes with that.
yep. I don't have any concern with the
I think-
project at all. We
right.
just don't have a GP number.
Yeah,
at this
does
time.
anybody on the board have any questions?
When are you planning on doing the work?
Anybody in the audience have any questions?
Probably lake drawdown,
Drawdown.
drawdown, when the lake
Right.
gets down.
Right, but do you have a date set at all?
As long as everything goes well around December.
Around December, okay. And do you have an idea of how long it will take to complete the project? Did they give an estimate of time of what it take to,
4 to 6 weeks.
okay?
Yeah, it's kinda
That's,
close.
that's kind of close.
Yeah, if they can start earlier, you probably.
As long as we get approval, yeah.
Yeah.
So once we have a GP number by November 15th, so I'm hoping we'll be there by then. I'll call GP because we are trying to get residents to start as soon as possible to not run into it's a weather depending project, and we don't want to start. We had some residents last year that the construction wasn't done and the lake level started going up and we had to hold off for that. So just watch, play, just make sure that the construction starts as soon as possible once you get the permit.
All set? I need a motion to continue.
Make a motion to continue.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good night, thank you. Lot 2, Lelandville Road.
So, we're now opening that project. The butters have not been notified, so we're gonna jump to lot 3. Have a good night, thank you.
So we're gonna continue that one.
No, we're not opening
Not
it.
continue it, we're now.
Just
yeah.
ignore it,
Yeah,
yep,
that's-
Yep.
okay,
Never happened.
never happened.
okay. Lot 3, 42 Lelandville Road.
Yep,
Hi, I'm Steve Benoit, Shelton LLC.
what plan do you have there, Steve, so I can pick the right one?
What's that?
What plan do you have there?
Lot 3.
Yeah, but is that,
42.
but he gave me a few of them today. He named stormwater management plan, so I don't know if he gave, can you just flip
I've
the
got
other
stormwater,
page?
everything's on this one plan.
Can I just see the title if you don't mind? I just wanna make sure we're looking at the same plan. See, that's the thing, I don't have this plan, that's what I'm looking for. He never
But
gave me
you-
that.
You can pass that around, because I gave this,
Okay,
this is pretty simple.
yeah,
So what we're doing is we're proposing a single-family home, it's an NOI. A lot of the work, stormwater management, and part of the system is across a river, but most of it sits outside the riparian 200-foot setback. We're within a 100-foot buffer on quite a bit of that build for that house. It's a ranch, one-story.
so the road is here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
This
that.
is the driveway,
Is the 50 or 100?
That's,
this
says
is the
50.
50 here. The driveway is within the 50 feet. Here's your 100-foot buffer, but we have the riverfront area, you know, they're cutting, just how much, let me see here. Proposing alteration, less than 3,000 square feet for a riverfront area. This is 100 here. Where is it? 200 is right here. So that's the only area. See how the house is being proposed here. So they're cutting just a bit in. And clearly it triggers stormwater because it's part of more than 4 lots. So he had to do stormwater for each one of them, which we don't review them. So Graves Engineering is reviewing stormwater.
Did you
Do
see
you wanna
that?
pass around? What?
I don't know if they heard that down there.
Yeah.
I could hear it, yeah.
Did you hear it? Yeah.
Why should they have to do the stormwater for individual lots? I mean,
That's our regulations.
It's the fourth
That's our
one.
stormwater rules and regulations and GEP standards. Anything above 4 lots, it triggers stormwater review.
stormwater review, or for lots, or each lot.
For each lot. Well, he's not submitting for all lots. For each lot that he submits the application for, we review the stormwater for that specific lot.
There are 3 lots that come under that
Yeah.
jurisdiction.
Yeah.
There's 3 lots.
Okay. Want to see any of this now?
There's really nowhere else to put that house. Unless they put it farther back, right?
That's a question for you. He's asking if you have tried to place the house in other place within that lot.
Well, if it does, it comes too close to the lot line.
Okay.
If you put the garage, which I wanted to do, on the left-hand side,
That's all wetlands.
well, no, you can't
driveway.
get parking. You need 35 feet to turn. from
Also,
the
you didn't
garage.
have enough?
No, no.
I didn't know if they asked for an alternative analysis on the application or
No, because they do not.
not. Okay.
Does anybody in the board have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions?
I have been on the field, yeah, I just received the plans tonight, this afternoon. Since I'm waiting for stormwater review, I will be waiting for Graves' comments
So we're
and
gonna continue
reports.
it.
Yes, and we don't have a DEP number.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know, I know there are butters here for the project, I don't know if they have any question.
To the, not knowing the plans.
Do you mind just stating your name?
Yeah, Dwayne Chanel, 12 Potter Village Crossroad. Not knowing the plans, where it's being developed, is there any change in the water flow that's in the woods or anything, would that be affected at all? None? Strictly in lot 3 we're talking, correct?
Yes.
We don't restrict any waterways. We don't
Okay.
wanna back water up in anybody's house. That'd be a disaster.
Yep.
And that's why we try to do a stormwater review to make sure he's containing the water within the site.
There's extensive stormwater.
Yeah,
Extensive.
there's a lot of water in that area, so I was curious how the flow was gonna be affected.
So he is, I can show you a plan if you like, he has a stormwater management plan that he's proposing. We don't review them, Graves Engineering, that's a peer review from planning board, is the one that does the review. But he's proposing some infiltration chambers within the area to keep that water flow and any other runoff within the site not running anywhere else. So that's what the regulation asks, to make
Okay.
sure that you keep the water inside the site and it's not running off to any property owners,
So any
abutters
water
or
that's
road.
flowing into the back of the property naturally will not be
It should
changed.
not change.
Not getting touched.
Right, because
It's not being touched.
16 Potter Village Crossroad, because there's 2 cross drains that come across Potter Village Crossroad that drain into those 2 lots. Lots 2 and 3, I believe it is, so that's our concern, is what's gonna happen with that water that's coming down from Potter Village Road and through the woods and stuff and
We-
going down
we
in there,
can't even-
especially in the spring.
We can't even go near that wetland area, so we're not
Yeah,
touching it.
they are far from that.
That's fine, I just, just
Of
curious.
course,
that's all.
yeah. And I have a copy of the
They built
plan if you'd like
beautiful
to
homes
look at
so
it.
far, so
Yeah,
The nicest ones are yet to come.
I saw those.
I'm all set for now.
Okay, I need a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
Need a second? I need it all in favor?
Thank you.
The ayes have it.
I will bring you some copies tomorrow.
You might, yeah, all the rules, the stormwater, I don't have it.
How you doing, Ray?
I'll-
I didn't recognize you over there at first.
She was in
I know it's the eyesight's again.
How you feeling?
Yeah,
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yeah?
have a good
All right,
night.
good, good to see you.
have a good meeting.
I stay in touch, you as well, thank you.
227 Sunset Drive.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. I'm Steve Briggs. I'm representing Dave Moran.
Hi, David.
He's gonna stay seated.
That's okay.
We are looking to put a roof over an existing porch and close in under the existing porch. I guess the reason we are here is because the building department would like us to put in some better footings. The footings that are existing now are less than sufficient. The house was built in the 60s, so we're gonna put in 4 techno posts right at the back of the building. Everybody know what a techno post is?
Yes, we have
Yeah.
had before.
So they just basically got 8-inch hole, they can drill them into the ground. So we're not really gonna be doing anything with any excavation at all.
So there will be minimal disturbance to the area which is already originally disturbed. They are pretty much at around 40 feet from the water. This is a picture at my site visit yesterday. So they're gonna utilize the exact same footings there, but they're gonna use Technopost
Henry Allison's, right?
instead.
Yeah, it's right down the street from
Yeah.
Allison's.
Are you all set with a negative?
If there is no concerns, I'm all set,
Okay.
issuing a
Anybody on the
negative
board have any
determination.
questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions? I'm looking for
I'll make a motion for a negative determination.
a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That's gonna be with an order of conditions too.
With special conditions,
Special
yeah.
conditions, yeah.
Yep. So I'll have the paperwork ready for you either tomorrow or
Okay.
Monday morning.
All right,
I can call you and let you know.
all right,
Is that okay?
great, thank you.
All right, yep, of course.
Certificate of compliance, 5 Hollywood Drive.
You all set? It's over, yeah,
Hey, you're welcome.
of course. When are you planning on starting the work?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think you heard it.
Yeah.
Y'all stay young,
Too late.
get old.
When are you planning on starting the work, sir?
What's that?
As soon as we can.
Okay,
The building department's just waiting for you,
yes.
so
Okay, so I'll try to have you shoot that tomorrow, so you guys can start going on it.
that'd be great.
Okay, perfect, we'll do.
Thank you.
All right, have a
Yeah,
good night.
Night.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you call for the certificate of compliance
Yes.
already?
Yep.
Yes, I did, young lady.
Thank you for the young lady. Certificate of compliance. Site visit was there yesterday. It appears everything has been completed per approved plan. If you wanna pass around, I also have a letter from the company who performed the work, testifying that
Oh, yeah,
the work was done per plan.
You know this one.
we know this one.
Yeah,
This is, yeah. The tree Nazis. Yeah, that was fun. Yep.
it took them a while to have it
Would you see
completed.
the size of the stones they used on that
Yeah.
retaining wall?
They're huge.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
they
it
slant,
looks-
it looks beautiful. They slanted it so that
Yeah.
wave action will not do that.
Nothing will bring that wall down.
Yeah,
Nope.
Yep.
And,
That's the
and they
airport
went
wall,
all
right?
the way around, I mean, all the way to the patio,
Yeah.
they used the same material.
Yep.
Did I
Yeah.
take pictures?
They did, yeah, that took a while.
You just need us to issue a certificate.
I would recommend issuing a complete certificate of compliance.
Need a motion for that?
Yes.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Extensions. 139 Nugget Drive.
I would recommend a 3-year extensions for that project.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 217 Sturbridge Road.
Extension.
3 years extension.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? All
Aye.
opposed? The ayes have it. Violations. 30 Glen Echo Shore Road.
I wasn't even prepared for that one. So, a few weeks ago, I received a call from a resident across the street from 30 Glen Echo Shore Road that she had some water into her basement and she believed it was being backed up from a pipe across the street to 30 Glen Echo Shore Road. She called DPW, she called the fire department, and the water she had believed that was being backing up from the pipe. So back maybe last year, Angela had received some complaints about it, accumulation of water on the road, that used to be a pipe there that would drain the water, but the water wasn't draining anymore, and they believed that the property owner from 30 Glen Echo Shore Road had made some change to the pipe, and therefore the water wasn't draining properly. So at the time, Angela didn't come up with any resolution. I don't remember what was her conversation with the property owner, but anyway, so when I went there with DPW to speak with the owner from across the street, I had to go to this person because she believed the water was backing up. And once I spoke to him, he did tell me, and I could see that what he changed, he covered the area that was open before where the water would drain into, and from there it would run freely over his landscape into the lake. So what he did, he used, it was a 12-inch pipe that was installed by DPW. He used a 6-inch pipe to put it into the 12-inch pipe, and he extended the pipe all the way to Glen Echo Lake, and the water was discharging into there directly. But he cut the pipe capacity 50%, so the water that used to run there freely through a 12-inch pipe now went into a 6-inch pipe. So they believe that the amount of the water we have been having, it wasn't enough size to drain the water.
So what
And
is
he
he
did the
going,
work without any permit. And at the time when the complaints came in, I spoke to Jerry at the time, and I asked him if he had any knowledge or anything. He said that the property owner had approached him in the past to ask what they could done with that piping. Apparently there was an easement or not an easement, I'm not quite sure. And Jerry told him there was nothing he could do about it, and that if he had to do anything, to touch anything in that area, he should call conservation because he was near the lake. And he never did. So he extended over 80, 90 feet of piping, decreasing the capacity of the water by 50% because he went from a 12-inch pipe to a 6-inch pipe. And we believe that's what's causing the water accumulation on the road.
So what are we doing?
It was a work without a permit, and it's causing a problem to the road because the water is not draining. So,
That pipe is the one from the catch basin, right? So there's the catch basin in front
the
of that house.
catch basin
Yeah.
across the street gets the water goes into the pipe and
And then it-
discharges it.
Yeah.
But at some point, within his yard, he decreased the size of the pipe and ran it all the way to the lake.
Did the pipe end in his yard?
And there was like riprap or something that went all the way down, right? I think.
No,
No?
you
I'm
mean
trying to
there were,
remember what was
there
in
were
the yard.
before, you mean before?
Yes, before he put the other pipe in
Yes,
and
it was
closed
open, it was just a pipe, there was just a pipe there where the water would just run. But he said he was concerned with people stopping, falling and tripping and falling in, it was on his property. And he changed it, he covered it and he added a new piping system to go discharge direct into the lake instead of going over his yard. But he did it without a permit, and now it's affecting the flow of the water. So I don't know how the commission wants to
Yeah, that's
address
the one
it.
that during the heavy rain will sometimes,
Very,
Yeah, so I
It-
thought I had a picture. It's,
it backs
there's
up
a,
onto the street.
yeah, it basically floods the
it
street.
floods the street because it.
Catch basin can't.
So it didn't work before.
No,
no, after.
before it did.
It worked before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when
But he put a
dis-
pipe in and covered it because you don't want people tripping.
right,
A
right, so
smaller
now,
pipe.
a smaller pipe, yeah.
But he decreased the pipe, the pipe that was there, put it by DPW was 12 inches.
So he tied in with a 6-inch
He
pipe.
tied it in with the 6
So
inch.
now it backs up. It can't accommodate
Okay.
the flow. It backs up into the road, into the catch basin and then onto the road, and then you get all the accumulation on the
Why don't we
road.
just-
So what's the DPW saying?
It's not their problem.
Okay.
It's not on the road.
No,
It's
it's
not the
his,
road.
it's his problem.
No, it's on his property.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to take the 6-inch, or the small
That's a
pipe out.
determination the
give an
commission's
order of
gonna have to
conditions,
make,
So what he
yeah.
wants to do, have a plan, okay, to replace it with a 12-inch pipe, or put it back the way it was.
That's a determination the commission needs to make
That's up to
it.
them, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
just, so whatever they want, whatever they decide
Right.
to do, but one of them options is what we gotta do.
Put it back the way it was,
Yeah,
or,
like we'll
have
have him apply for.
oh yeah, he's gonna have to do, well,
Exact-
well,
Does he have to?
I could issue an enforcement order, he could do it under the enforcement order instead of filing.
Okay, yeah,
So should he come in here and? go
Yes,
over
but
this with him?
yeah, but before I had to have the conversation with you to know which way you wanna follow, if it is a violation, he worked with, all the way to the lake, the pipe is discharged into the lake.
Right.
So it is a reason for an enforcement order. I can issue the enforcement order, say that the commission make the decision, and then ask him to be here in the next meeting on the 15th to,
let him get in on the decision.
Right.
In other words,
Well,
he
he has
wants to,
to-
whatever, if he wants
but I
to,
have to notify him.
Yes,
So I need to
okay.
notify that the commission voted that it is a violation
Yeah.
and that it has to be addressed.
yeah, okay.
And then he can choose what he chooses to do,
Yeah.
whether leave the way it was before or change, whatever motion you wanna make.
Well, wouldn't that be up to him? He has the option of either putting it
Right,
back
but
the
I
way it
need to
was.
give him the
That's
two
what
options.
that's what I was getting at, to
Yeah.
give him the option, give him an order of condition,
So
not
what
an
I-
order of conditions, but an
Enforcement order.
Enforcement order, the
Have him come in
options.
front of us, and we'll give him what options he wants to do, under an order of conditions. We'll go either way. Either he fills it all back in, takes it back out, puts it original, or he puts a 12-inch pipe in.
Okay, I need a motion for that,
I need a motion to that.
original
Motion
condition.
made.
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay,
Lakeview Drive, 77 Lakeview Drive.
so, I was on my sign inspection, on Friday to 65 Lakeview Drive, and as I'm driving by, I see just two trucks and landscape working, on that property without a permit. They're doing landscaping, they put a new soil all the way down to Glen Echo Lake, no permit either. I asked them, what the plan was, what they have done, what they're continuing to be doing, what was being proposed. I wasn't getting any answer from anybody. They were not having a very good attitude. So I asked them to pack and leave. And then I spoke with the property owner late in the day, who could not even tell me yet if the soil had been stabilized, and we're getting a big rain event on Saturday. So I asked him to at least put some wattles right down the lake. The new soil they put it in went all the way to the bank of the lake.
Those things are useless. I go back to hay bales.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
they put dirt, they filled in.
Okay, but you said you want to put wattles in.
Yes.
Okay, but they're useless.
Well, at that specific project, he would have worked had him actually installed correctly. As you know, it has to be trenched in, dug a little 2-3 inches to the ground, so it can sit down in, and they put the silt fence up. So all they did was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
All right.
plugged it in. So I stopped by yesterday. There was no erosion into the lake. It was a miracle. And I just notified him I didn't issue him an enforcement order. The work was already all done. They were trying to just take vegetation out and plant some new vegetation. It was already complete by the time I got there.
Right.
So I just asked him to stabilize as soon as he can, and to keep the water there to protect from anything going to the lake. And any further work, to contact us and file for a permit.
All right, Cranberry Meadow View.
Well. Same day, but I didn't know. So he appears to be the owner of the landscaping company who was doing on 77. So Monday morning, he comes into my office to talk about it. 31 Cranberry Meadow View, which he was doing extensive grading in his backyard. So much that the neighbor called the police to have. I'm glad that she didn't call me because it was on a Sunday. And the police went over and say, listen, it's all conservation, call them on a Monday. So he came to my office on Monday, didn't understand why he would need the permit to grade completely his backyard, completely not stabilized at all. And as I'm talking to him the need of the permit, he brings up that, yeah, you also stopped my work on 70. I was like, how many violations can you get in one weekend? So anyways, the work had already been done, and I told him to put erosion control up and put his siltation facing up, and he did it all. I went there and I checked it. It's a mess.
So we gotta issue an enforcement order to get them to stabilize?
I told him what's left to do. I was like, all I want to do is just throw the seeds in anyway and stabilize it. So it's just seeds that he has to put in on and stabilize. He said he was going to be doing that, taking advantage of the weather this weekend. I don't know if you will even want to issue an enforcement order at this point.
Well, what recourse, so are we gonna check to make sure that he did what he said he did?
Right, I told him I'll be there Monday morning. If it's
Okay.
not stabilized, then I'll go full-blown enforcement order and
All right. City Depot Road, update.
you can take a seat. Where's his file?
Evening.
How you doing?
Your floor? Go ahead.
Mike Andre, Art Allen, Chris McClure have been working with me to stabilize the property with the wetlands and the infractions. And I've gotten letters from those offices stating that the project is stabilized at this point.
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
They said that the project is stabilized at this point.
Have you looked at it, Rose?
I have,
Is it stabilized?
to an extent. So, I don't know how back you wanna go. We have had many violations. He has come in compliance with EPA. He has now his EPA permit. He had a wetland violation back in July 17th, and then another one happened because he had another runoff. I do have a letter from Art Allen, and I did speak to him that he did clean the wetlands. There were some sediments left that was to be by hand, and Art emailed me this week or last week saying that that has been accomplished. My last report from Graves Engineering was just saying that from October 2nd, is that the last report? Yeah.
It's
bef-
October 2nd,
Yeah, October 2nd. Some areas that the silk fence is still not taut, not pulled taut, and between the stakes. Swale remains eroded and is not yet reconstructed.
No, the swale is reconstructed, and I added 5 check dams, and Mike inspected that.
Yep, I have the check dams my only question, I think, at this point is, as you know, and Everett, McClure, and EPA, and GP, and me, and Graves have emphasized the importance of stabilizing all that slope when you are not working for more than 14 days. Why is that's not done?
Because it costs $50,000, and I cannot get into that money until the area in front of the hay blankets starts construction. It's a dollars and cents thing at this point. But I do have swales, I do have diversion plans in there.
Yep, I have the pictures of all the swales that he installed, and it's just, the concern is, we have a letter from the building department showing that you're not up to date yet with all the requirements for you to continue construction.
What's the
And you
date
don't
on that?
have the necessary documentation for him to give you a building permit,
What's the date on that letter?
October 3rd.
Oh, no, he has no, I mean, if the cease and desist is granted, then once Kurt has that in his hand, this will proceed, he'll issue a permit.
So I spoke to him today, and that's not what he told me.
Okay.
So again, what we have done in the past with previous, constructions is when this growing season ends and the slopes are not stabilized, comes the freeze, comes the snow, comes the melt. And with the melt comes the slope. We have had on Route 20, Christmas Day, from our friend Nichols. Didn't want to stabilize, not stabilizing, I'm cutting again, not stabilizing, putting the well in. I don't need to stabilize, I'm putting all the electric in. I don't need to stabilize because I'm gonna cut it in again. And
How big an area is this slope?
I can have some pictures here.
40,000 square feet. Right now.
Where'd you get a price to stabilize for 50 grand?
No, this disturbed soil from the cut into the hill that's piled up that I need to truck out of there.
Oh yeah, how is that going? That's a question from Gary. Have you removed any of that pile out of the site?
No, I have not.
Zero.
Zero.
And do you believe that's gonna remain there throughout the winter?
No.
So what's the plan on that?
When construction continues, my construction loan opens up, and trucking is at $125 an hour now.
I'm sorry, I don't
So the
understand.
construction loan is structured a certain way. The banks will not lend money unless construction continues. So there's no more money to be applied to the trucking.
Ain't good for
We're
cameras
talking 50 grand. I mean, to stabilize all the way across is $50,000, easily.
Did it
And
go
this
away?
is, we're talking about, I have probably, I'm guessing, 5,000 to 6,000 yards of disturbed fill sitting there that is ready to be hauled out. So,
So why is it not being hauled out?
I have no money.
Okay.
You know, if I start digging into it, and I spend 15, 20,000, and it's disturbed again, and I can't take the rest of it out, I'm gonna run into the same problem.
So how are we gonna keep that stabilized through the winter? To avoid, and the question is, it's an important question, because if that's not stabilized, right, and you don't haul it out, and comes the winter, comes the snow, and that entire pile melts down, it's gonna that siltation phase and that swale, it's not gonna hold it. That's all gonna end up in the wetlands again. And that was DEP's concern, and clearly it's the commission's concern. So we're
Well,
kind of
I don't even know what my grade's gonna be until I get rid of the 6,000 to 7,000 yards of fill. I can't set a grade to stabilize unless I remove that fill.
No, so,
I can't stabilize the fill, it's not gonna grow. It's not the growing season.
we have 2 more weeks for the growing season, but that's the whole thing though. Why wasn't that done before, just to stabilize? If you drive around constructions everywhere and they have piles of field like you have, you'll see vegetation growing on them, because that holds them together when the snow comes and the melt comes. And that's not the case in your site.
I just did 20,000 square feet of stabilization with hydroseed and straw blankets, like Gary
Yep,
asked.
I just showed it,
Yes,
everybody.
Gary asked me to do that.
Right, and I have the
Right.
picture here and it's done, and,
I have a cease and desist in order.
yeah,
I don't have the funds to haul out. It takes 10 trucks to haul that out in a week. I need to continue construction to open up my budget and do it correctly. As it sits right now, I'm not gonna borrow money against bad money to do this. The banks will not allow it at this point because there's a cease and desist in place, and I cannot get a building permit, which adds equity to the project. It's just a dollars and cents thing right now.
well, I understand it's dollars and cents for your perspective as a contractor, but our perspective is the protection of the wetlands, and you have a gigantic pile of dirt sitting at least 20 feet from it, and when that melts, that's where it's gonna go. So our cease and desist is not keeping you from getting your building permit. The building department needs to meet 8 codes to give you a building permit, and the conservation has nothing to do with that. What?
The email said, you're
So-
done construction until the
Right.
cease and desist is listed.
So I'll explain it again. So we have a cease and desist that the commission signed saying that no more construction until the site's stabilized. Now, when the building department issues, construction permits and they need to meet 4 criterias, and, 8 of them, it doesn't involve conservation at all. If he has a conservation violation on his site, the building department will still issue his, building permit, and we're the one who have to go over and stop him from building. It's not the other way around. Do you understand that? So if we, what I'm trying to say, if we don't lift your cease and desist today because the commission feels that that slope or that pile of dirt needs to be stabilized, it's not gonna keep you from getting your permit from them. It might keep you from doing the work if the commission chooses to, but it's not gonna keep Kurt from giving you the permit.
I'm gonna forward you an email from Andrew Golis regarding this,
Yeah, that's.
okay? No.
I have the email.
I would have never stopped if I knew that. I was informed blatantly.
No.
You are not getting a building permit until the cease and desist is lifted from Kurt via email to me with Andrew Golis, Board of Health.
Right.
Planning Board,
But-
everybody attached to it.
So you started your foundation without a permit.
Yes, I did, because there was a hurricane coming.
That's doesn't.
That doesn't.
It doesn't
I have an
concern
exposed
to
hole,
us, yeah.
60 by 35.
So whether you had the permit or not, it's not our problem because that falls into the building. What
You
I'm
brought-
trying to
you
say
brought it up.
is, right, but I'm trying to explain where it's coming from. I'm just trying to let commission know what the situation is. I have the letter from the building department here, and I was.
What's the date on that?
And I was part on the email,
October
October 3rd. And I was part on the email from Andrew and everything, and I understand that that's what he said. So I think we're all trying to work together within the departments to help you.
I'd like to present something,
Yeah.
so we can, for the committee members who haven't been out to the site.
Yeah, they're looking at pictures now. Oh, sorry, you're not.
What is that? What she said?
I'm passing around some pictures, yeah, but you can present it.
This is the toe of the hill. This is what I did in the past for the first unit up into the hill. Okay, this is one side of it. That's the right side of the building, this is the left side of the building. Okay, that's the toe of the hill right there. Okay, right here past that is the hay, that's the hay blanket.
Pretty good up for.
You can see it right here. Okay? Without the hay blankets, and this shelf that goes behind this house, which is 15 to 20 feet wide, with stabilization, stops the water coming off the hill. That was the importance of getting the foundation.
Does that seed netting go all the way over? Now?
I hydroseeded that, I didn't put the blanket there. This is, there's got some rills here that I raked out, but at the bottom, the foundation itself supports the back shelf of the yard and creates a form of a check dam
I see that. That makes sense.
for
Can I
the
have
entire
that?
site. And every foundation's gonna do that, coming off this slope. I attempted to do the same exact thing with the next foundation that I did with that, which was successful, extremely successful.
Right, and we are not qualified to tell you what is successful or not. It's not part of our, that's a building question. Like, we're not saying that you shouldn't do that, or we're not allowing you to do that, because that's a building question, and we're not a civil engineer, and we don't
Well,
know.
that was Mike Andre's design, that's what he designed for me to do.
So,
So I did it, and it worked.
You can't find anybody you can wheel and deal with to get rid of the fill?
Well, I have it, it's just trucking's expensive. I have people that wanna take the fill for free.
Well, anybody to take it for free, but they won't even pay for the trucking?
Of course. Nobody wants to pay, nobody can part with money right now.
Can you negotiate with anybody, in the trucking business to see if they work a deal with you?
As far as the trucking cost,
Yeah,
well, of course, I do that every day.
so have you done it with anybody till you can get?
There's no one available, they're working for Amazon at $165 an hour. I'm kinda not gonna win that
I
battle.
do know they're all busy, I realize that too.
Yeah. Just in this particular area there are some guys, I've had guys over there, they get pulled over by DOT, it turns into an issue, they come to my site, things like that. It's really, this trucking business in the area is been a big.
need to move that
GP is requesting him to remove the fill out of the site.
get a building permit.
No, that
No,
has nothing
no,
to do,
no.
so we have nothing to do with the building permit.
I know, we have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Asking him.
No, I mean, I'm gonna move that fill probably before, what's today, October 24th or 5th or something? What's it today, the 25th?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking probably by, 6,000 yards, we got 3 weeks, 5 trucks. Yeah, it's gonna take me a month, I'll be done
So
before,
you've got some plan to do this then?
yeah, of course, yeah.
That, to me, I don't think that was brought out.
Oh, of course I have a plan.
You just told me you don't have a way of doing
No, I don't
it,
have any money to do it.
so why are you having it in a month?
If I get my building permit, the building permit adds equity to my
So
construction
you're-
loan, then I can tap into it and free up some money.
Okay,
The
so
banks
what,
aren't just gonna say, oh, go have a party.
so the question, I guess, is, what if you don't get your building permit and a month goes by, the slope's not stabilized, we have a freeze, and now it's too late for you to
I
move
don't have
that?
an answer for you. I've already lost 2 months because of this process with, the situation with the foundation and whatnot.
That much fill isn't gonna freeze.
Exactly.
You put a loader against that and they'll break up instantly unless they're in the middle of the
We
winter.
have had,
Yeah,
we
not,
have
but
had.
not for another 2 months,
Oh,
At least-
Probably, probably 3.
Yeah,
my concern is not that it will or not and how long it's gonna be. My concern is that's not gonna be removed from there until
Yeah, I understand.
It
you. Yeah,
melts.
yeah, I know it, yeah.
So, I mean, again, is that it comes to the commission decision, so,
Well, you have to just get a building permit. We're not holding that up. So you've got to,
According to
you
We're
Kurt, you-
only
according to
holding that
Kurt, you
up.
are.
he has a cease and desist now that he's not allowed to build. But we're not holding the building permit to be issued. What's holding the building permit to be issued is this letter that contains all the items that the building department is requesting from civil engineer and qualifications and plans. And that's what's holding his permit. This has nothing to do with conservation. You do with conservation when he gets the building permit and the Conservation Commission says, you know what, you're not stabilized enough, I'm stopping you from building until you stabilize. Then we're gonna be holding him from building. But we hold him for the action, we don't hold the permit itself.
he's looking for the permit just to get money to take the,
But that's out of our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's out of our hands.
So you need to stabilize that pile, correct?
I'd rather see him get
I,
rid of the
I have
pile.
no choice but to, like, I'm not a very articulate person. I have no choice but to remove that pile of fill.
Right, because he
I-
has to work there.
Yeah, that's just-
Yeah,
needs
he's gotta
the
get-
area.
he's
No,
gotta-
no, it's
Never
not-
mind stabilize it, get rid of it.
No, I have to get rid of it.
Right. He has to
The
get rid
land
of
is
it.
worth nothing to me if I don't get rid of it.
Right.
The pile of dirt is not making people come buy houses from me,
Nope.
okay? But the process right now of this slope, with the amount of rain that we have, and slowing down the process has made this worse for the erosion control on my job site. Mike Andrade, 2 years ago, told me how to do this, gave me his advice. I listened to him. Okay, not that he's supposed to be giving me advice, but we're talking on the job site. What do you think I should do? Talk to Angela about it. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. So I did it. We got massive amounts of rain. What I did not control it. It just didn't
Yeah,
happen.
I have to admit, I don't think anybody expected to get the rain that we've gotten
Exactly.
anywhere. I mean, because towns wiped out,
Towns wiped out.
Yeah.
New York City.
yeah,
You know, these were massive budgets.
yeah. No, I understand that, but we still gotta, they're gonna move the pile.
I agree with that. Okay, and I agree with all the infractions. If I had an infraction,
My suggestion is to work on getting rid of the pile. I think that's maybe his main goal should be to get rid of the pile. You agree with me, Rose?
I think all the commission should be on the same page. I don't want to just be the one who make the recommendation. DP is requesting the pipe to be removed.
I
since-
think he realizes himself that he's
Yeah,
gotta
he
get rid of the
knows
pile.
that.
But so he
Right.
needs the building permit in order to do that. is what-
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he
But that,
doesn't.
that's what he said, he needs the building permit so it frees
So
up
you can get
his
the
money.
money.
That's
To
the
get
money
the
that
money,
he does,
right,
yeah.
but-
if you, on that amount of disturbed dirt, okay? I forgot the word someone used. It's the type of clay that's in the ground out here. It's not clay, it's something else. One of the local, a guy named Frank Hammond had told me what it is. And,
similar.
what's that?
It's very similar to clay.
It's similar, but what is it?
It packs.
It packs. So what happens is if you disturb it and you fluff it up, it takes up more space than it looks like when it's on. So as you disturb it and you pile it up, it looks massive. But it loads the trucks. When it goes into the trucks, it packs itself down. And so you can get rid of more than you think you can.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Okay? But the reality is, my job site is worth that amount of money unless I get the pile of fill gone. Okay? But the Conservation Commission, Curtis, the Building Department, it's all intertwined together to continue to move forward for me as a
Right.
business.
So where is the report from?
And
So,
everyone's got it.
so, again, it's not, I'm just asking this question because you're telling me that you're being held back in order for you to have the funds to stabilize and remove the pile, you need the permit. So that's the only reason I'm asking that question. Why those items have not been addressed, so you can have
That's
it-
October 3rd, that letter.
Yeah,
I've addressed all of them, okay? Now, the situation with the situation with Curtis is interesting. Because he's requesting things now that he didn't request from me in the past. Because of this situation with the foundation, with the footing in the ground. Okay? So,
Again, I don't, I
no,
don't
no,
know
I'm just,
building
I'm
code,
just
yeah.
being transparent. Now I have to navigate a situation with Curtis. Okay? Which is fine. He's in charge. He wants something, I gotta get it for him. It's that simple. But some of his requests are a little bit, not, it doesn't happen like that. He wants whatever, he wants something to do with HVAC.
Yeah, we have the
Yeah,
report here.
which is abnormal for someone to ask for. But now Curtis has got, his ears are up and he's coming after me. It is what it is.
So,
I'll have to deal with it.
So it's not ethical, you're saying, to cover these piles up with like tarps and stabilize it?
so,
I'm gonna have to, if I don't get rid of it, I
Temporarily, till you
have
get a chance
to.
to move it?
What's that?
Yes.
Till you get a chance to move it, stabilize
Yeah,
these piles.
Yeah.
Cover them with tarps.
and have, wattles, staked wattles surround all around, so we don't have rain and freeze and snow all winter long. That's the worst case scenario
Yeah,
if you don't move that.
even if the snow comes, I'm gonna be moving dirt. The trucks are gonna be running. It's
Right,
that
but you
simple.
don't know if that's gonna happen
No, I-
because you depend of his permit. And I mean, the lad
When
is.
push
go-
comes to shove, okay? I mean, this is things that you don't really discuss in meetings like this, but if I have to lend money to my business from my personal,
We don't need to
I know,
discuss that.
but I'm going to expose myself to the IRS, which I desperately don't wanna do.
Yeah, we don't
Because
need.
that's not, it's not really, you're asking me, well, how am I gonna get this done? I have to get this done because the lender, the bank, wants this done because it gains equity. I have no choice. If I don't perform out there, I will be foreclosed on, and they will attach my other assets. The pile is not my issue here. The pile will be done in a month. My issue is holding me up as long as the situation has held me
Right,
up.
but we're not holding you up. It appears that what's holding you up is the building permit. Correct?
Yes.
We agree on that.
You don't need to build, you just need a permit to show the bank.
I need the money out of the budget too.
Is that
Yeah,
what?
It's all
Right.
intertwined.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a big, I got 10 houses to build out there, 10 units to build out there.
What?
It's a big loan. They're not happy with this, especially with the EPA fine.
We try to.
Once they put something like an EPA fine, I can't hide that from my lender. They find out I have something like that, they won't do business with me.
Yeah.
I have to be completely honest with them. I've been doing business with them for 22 years. You know?
And that was unfortunate.
Yeah. All right,
Because
we gotta
we-
move this on, okay, because we have other
Yeah,
people that.
I understand.
So, again, you could work on your building permit with Kurt. And meanwhile, work on try to do what you can do to get the pile from there or come up with a plan for it. If the building permit is issued, then the commission can vote based on what the site looks at the time the permit is issued, so not to hold you up from building.
Yeah, we're not trying to hold you up,
Yeah,
believe me.
The dirt will not be removed if my building permit is not issued. There will be no funds to do it.
that's
I'm
what,
letting you know
Right.
right now. So if you wanna,
So does that mean you're going belly up?
no, I'll never do that. That won't happen. But I will not be putting money into a piece of property that's not progressing forward due to, an HVAC controller schedule for Curtis Meskis. Okay? We're having issues here with communication. I mean, it's just, this is talking hundreds of thousands of dollars here.
what is,
And you're saying it like it's no
V1?
big deal.
HVAC.
I did
Heating,
about $75,000 worth of work to stabilize what I
Sounds
did.
like he's now
And now
asking
we have
to
to
do
vote,
something
like,
about it.
it's gotta go on again? You're gonna ask for more? I can't do
He's
it.
asking, it sounds like.
I can't.
he's
All right.
asking.
I've done everything Gary's asked me, I've done everything Stephanie Tugas from EPA has asked me. Mike Andre's gone out there, said, wow, you're doing a good job.
Yep.
Arthur Allen was very happy with what I did,
yep,
okay? I'm paying Arthur Allen out of my pocket to go do this, but that's another story. You're telling me that you're
Some
gonna,
days you gotta do what you gotta do.
I realize that, I'm a big boy, but, you know,
Overall, he has put the effort on the site, the swale is installed. If that slope was to melt today, not the entire slope, but some of it, what he made it there, he would hold off the water at least from leaving his site, which is what he needs to do in order not to get EPA on him again.
Well, if he can't get the.
That's for
if he Can't get
stormwater.
the pile of dirt out of there.
Right.
We've gotta get it covered.
yeah, the dirt
So-
from the pile is not gonna go in the wetlands, what it's gonna do is go clog up my, I think it's called what's the pipe that goes under the road called?
Culvert.
The culvert. I have a, what is it, a 24-inch pipe going underneath the road into my detention pond. I mean, if it rains like it has, and that soil starts going into that swale and through that pipe, I'm gonna be standing there with the hose to clean it out. I mean, it's the stormwater system that was designed is working,
Yeah.
okay?
I don't mean to cut you off, but we gotta,
Yeah.
I
Just,
appreciate it.
But we're not, I just need clarification here. So, okay, so the pile, because I have to notify DEP. So the pile of soil is not going to be removed unless you have your building permit. Now, what is the latest date for you to still build this year before the winter comes? Isn't
That depends on the weather.
Isn't that so close now? For, are you?
With the situation with, my DEP and EPA and conservation issues, you know, with these pictures that I just shared with you, the building the house is not really the important part of this site. It's getting my foundation in.
Okay,
and
the
making a
foundation in.
shelf and stabilizing the yard, so when the soil comes off the hill, it hits the stabilization and stops.
Right, and
That's
that,
the point of those pictures.
and,
But I mean, the pile of soil that's there, the 6,000, 7,000, that's not really the main issue.
It
Because
is for-
that's not making it out to the road.
where we're concerned is not just the road, Jay. It is a big issue. That's the first thing GP calls me twice a week to see if you have removed any part of that soil. It should not be there. And you might
I
say
did what
that,
Gary told me to do.
well, I speak to Gary twice a week. So if you're saying that that pile might melt into your culvert, into your soil, you don't know if it's gonna cross that and get into the wetlands. We're just avoiding,
I'm
trying
not-
to avoid for you to
I
get in.
apologize, I don't understand what you mean by melt.
I mean-
That soil is never going
I
to
mean,
freeze.
I don't mean melt. I mean
Oh, wash away?
to wash away
Okay, okay.
in any
Okay,
form or
I'm sorry, I
shape.
was
Yeah, yeah,
confused. Okay.
to wash away.
I
Again,
think if you stabilize what you've got, that pile,
I
the
think
commission would be okay
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
and we would lift your
Yeah.
ceases.
Yeah.
It's
so
pretty
my,
simple.
my question to you is,
That's a valid point, but I want, the pile needs to be removed either way.
Right.
It's the hill that needs to be stabilized. The pile's gone, I put the mass mix, slope mix across the hill, and I put the hay blankets down, and then it's really stabilized. That's what the goal is to stabilize the hill. The pile of dirt there is not the issue, it's the hill.
both. It is both. Now,
Not
just,
the pile.
just a second.
It's really, it's not, it's,
The
pile
pile is
hasn't
20
moved.
feet from the wetlands.
It's the pile.
Yeah. But the slope is also concerned because it's not stabilized. So it is a
Stabilized.
ticking bomb, just waiting for the
Right, but-
perfect storms that we're just trying to avoid for
She
him to
needs to
get in
give
that
an
again.
answer to the state DP and what we're asking him to do. If I
Sorry,
understand.
say this again?
Right, so he's telling me that he cannot touch the pile or stabilize unless he has his building permit to move forward with the foundation. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay, so if he does not get his building permit into winter, or I don't know how long that's gonna take, he's not stabilizing the slope and he's
I didn't
not.
say that. I'll have to stabilize the slope with tarps. But the goal is to get rid of the hill, is to get rid of the sediment and the fill,
Okay.
and stabilize it with blankets. But I need to get rid of the pile.
He's gotta get rid of the pile
I gotta get rid of
Right.
the pile to do that. It's on top
Right.
of the hill.
Yep. So, and then what's the plan if that doesn't happen? Are you agreeing to come back to us and say, I did not get my building permit? I mean, at that point,
I have no choice but to stabilize it with a blanket or
No, I
hydro
mean,
seed or
I-
it doesn't
yeah.
matter. I have to do it either way. one thing or the other, something has to happen there.
But you just told me with the cost, you don't have a way of doing that unless you have.
That doesn't mean I'm not gonna stabilize it with blankets. You know, I mean, we're
So
talking
then-
$2,000-3,000 worth versus 50-60 grand.
Right, but the blankets itself is not gonna hold the soil. You
So
need,
what do you want me to do then? That's what someone just mentioned to me. Didn't you just mention put a?
oh no, you put the tarp on top of the pile, not the slope.
If the piles are gone.
The pile is on top of the slope now.
What?
That's where it's all piled, on top of the
Looks
slope.
like it's in front of us.
You mean in front of the slope?
Yes, and I
In
have
front.
swales running behind the pile
Okay,
for diversion.
okay, right,
All up through the hills, I have diversion into the swales.
yep. Do you wanna come here so make sure we're talking about the same thing? We just wanna make sure that this conversation is over and we know how to proceed from here. So this is a pile right there. This
Where are
is-
you? Where's that picture taken from?
See
Go
your
back one.
excavator here?
What's this pile right here?
Oh, this is where the foundation
Oh,
is, right
okay.
there, yep.
Keep going to the left.
Oh, there we go.
There's the pile.
Yep,
Behind that is graded. The pile is
Yep.
into the hill. I have diversion swales.
Yep.
Diverting water off the hill into
Yep.
swales. This pile right here is all disturbed land.
I know, and the swale concerns me, because that's where the water's gonna go, right? That's why you made
That's
it.
the point of it, yes.
So, the question is, if you cannot remove this pile, how can you stabilize it for the winter?
Stabilize the hill or the pile?
The pile, and that's why he said, can you put a tarp on it?
Yeah, that's
Put
what I
around
have to
all
do.
the-
I mean, that's no choice. I
Okay.
have to do something. I'm not gonna leave it there and get more fines and.
All right, we all set here?
So we'll keep the cease and desist as it is. We'll work with you once, see what you can do until you get your building permit. Your building permit's not being held up because you have a cease and desist. Do you understand that?
No, I do understand that, but I know that's not the case because I've had my attorneys look at what Andrew Gola said.
It is,
And it's but, so I'm not buying the I know you don't, I know you talked to Curtis today, but that's not what was said. I analyzed this multiple times because it's a huge factor in my life right now, okay? What Curtis said to you today is a flat out lie.
what did
And
he say?
I will take
All
care of
right,
that tomorrow.
calm down.
No, we're talking
No,
about
no,
hundreds of thousands
Jay,
of dollars.
what
This
did
is
he-
serious.
I understand, but you,
He said-
we're
what-
talking
what-
civil.
What did he say? I don't, what?
You cannot have a building permit until your cease and desist is lifted.
Right,
So I did everything that Mike Andre, Martha Allen, Gary Dolman asked me to do. I had
But-
everything inspected.
Yeah, but that
and
was,
they said everything's fine, but now all of a
Right,
sudden I'm
but
gonna
that-
have to jump through another hoop with Curtis.
there is no rule. So this was part of your enforcement order, right? To have all that stabilized. And you finally got it stabilized, so,
If he stabilizes the pile, okay.
well, he doesn't want to
Let me
stabilize, yeah.
finish. If he stabilizes the pile, can we remove the cease and desist?
Well, that's the pile and the slope needs to be stabilized, but he's saying that he can't
I
do
mean,
that
if we get
until
rid,
he
if we
has
can
his
stabilize the
foundation.
pile, even if it's covered,
Oh, I don't care how it's stabilized, as long as it's not exposed.
Right.
yeah. So if he
I am not
stabilizes
telling
it,
him how
yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
it to be properly.
We're trying to work with the guy, I'll say.
That's what
but
we're
yeah,
doing.
I know that, I realize that.
I mean, you know, he was in a very bad shape and he knows that
Yeah.
a few months ago. And that's why he got EPA, GP, Grace, McClure, you name it, on his site. But he came along and, I mean, he did everything that they have been requested. Some things better than others,
I
but,
set the grade, I put the blankets on, I removed that fill, I put it in a pile. I
Yep.
did what you guys asked me to
I
do.
can't hear you.
And now, it's, you moved the goalpost again on me.
what do you mean? I wanna make sure you
Because
leave.
nobody had mentioned this pile before, now all of a sudden it's an issue. The issue was the runoff going down into the street and down into the wetlands.
Yes, that is-
So I put, see, over at that pile in front of it, I have a swale. So no
Yep.
no soil is going anywhere.
We
I
don't
actually
know.
have that sold. Okay, so it's very valuable to me.
Yep,
All right, so I don't want it going anywhere.
so maybe you wanna put some waters around and stake it. Again, I'm,
Just stabilize it.
yeah,
Stabilize it.
cover it,
Move the
do
pile.
some,
When you move the
and I
pile.
will let,
The hill. I have to stabilize the hill once the pile's out of there. There's no doubt about it, because when it does wash away like she said, it's gonna be an issue. I have no choice but
for
to.
everybody, yeah.
So option one,
But cutting
first
the
thing,
grade, excuse me?
first thing is to get rid of the pile. That's what it sounds like to me. We gotta get
If
rid
I
of the
wanna,
pile.
if I wanna avoid any more infractions, the first thing is to get the foundation in and create some stabilization around the foundation. That's the most important, because that's the sediment that makes it out to the street. The pile doesn't make it anywhere. Okay, the foundation that I put in, the right and left side of it, when the rain hits it, washes it down the road into the street. You put the foundation in, it creates a check dam for the whole yard. Every foundation does, stabilize with hydro seed, and it works like it did on Unit 401.
So why, on his notes, it says that the proposed structure may be in proximity to the ascending slope, verification that it's at least 15 feet from the base of that slope, and it's not acting as a retaining wall needs to be provided.
A retaining wall and a check dam are two different things. The design of the storm water on that property includes the foundation as check dams coming off that hill. Those are a factor in the stabilization of the property. The hill is massive. You
No
need
kidding.
multiple sources of diversion. In the foundations, don't allow the water to centralize and pick up momentum to wash the sediment away. They hit the foundation and disperse around it into the grass, and the grass eats up the flow. That's, I mean, obviously, that's what stabilization is. But I'm kinda like, listen, I'm frustrated, it's difficult, but the reality is Mother Nature kicked my butt, okay? She won. There's nothing I can do about it, okay? And on something that's not really, it's not really a factor, but the logistics of the property, getting machines in certain positions there is virtually impossible because the slope is steep. So you can only put a machine with a 1.5 yard bucket up on the hill to grade it correctly. You can't send the 5.5 yard bucket up there because the hill will not support it. And the machine can't maneuver up there to do what it's supposed to do correctly. So with the yard around the foundation, you can put the machine up, the machine can go up with its arm and pull down and grade it correctly. I mean, this is stuff that the engineers can never think of, but this is what's happening out there, and I'm just in a no-win situation at this point.
All right.
So I'll work on your items for the building permit then? Do you have this?
Is that from today?
No, it's
No.
October third.
Yeah,
Double
I've already addressed all that.
Okay, I don't, when he issues a new thing that you have addressed anything, he sends to the entire to all departments. I haven't received anything new.
Oh, that's interesting, because I dropped it off last Tuesday, but, we'll.
So
we'll
again,
address-
so-
We'll address that tomorrow.
We can get involved with the building.
I understand that, and I
Yeah.
respect that.
So as far as cease and desist goes, and your enforcement order is here, I mean, the only thing, and I keep bringing out the pile because that's what Gary is concerned with. And he has been concerned since he was there. Make sure he has activity. Let me know if you see trucks going in and out. I need the pile removed as soon as possible.
I don't actually need the building permit, I need the foundation permit, so I can do what conservation wants me to do, which is stabilize everything. The backyard of that house is the benchmark for the whole shelf, for the whole project. I need that right corner, that where all the sediment rolled into the street from. I need to set the benchmark and create the grade for 5 houses, 5 duplexes, which is huge. I can't do it in the middle and work backwards. It's gonna end up.
Why can't we approve something?
But anyway, I would leave the cease and desist in place. If you're claiming I can get a permit with the cease and desist in place.
See what
that's-
happens.
That's news to me. But I would appreciate, and I asked for the committee to write a letter to the building department, asking them to give me a foundation permit. I don't need the construction, I need the foundation so I can set the grade there, so I can stabilize everything. And that's what was my gripe when I put the footings in. We had a hurricane coming. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't as bad as they said, but I was like, what do I do now? I got an exposed hole in the ground. And I need the foundation permit. I don't want a building permit. I want the foundation permit.
Is there such a thing?
I don't see why not.
So the reason we can't get involved as far as
I'm asking-
buildings,
that's
because
why I
we
said
don't
I'm
know
asking.
the codes,
Yes.
we don't know.
I'm asking for a letter, just a recommendation that I need to set that grade.
So has McClure, in anywhere,
Yeah.
in any way that a foundation would be beneficial or allow
Yes.
you to step, I don't have that. Why don't you provide that to us?
When Chris left for vacation on the Thursday, I'm not sure of the date. You got 10, 9, 8, 7, on the 6th, you spoke to Chris McClure,
Yeah,
and he discussed that with you. And he sent an email to you, so if you wanna look that up tomorrow or something, he did send that over. Cause he discussed it with me in his office later that night. But
All right, we
he,
gotta move on.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have an email from, but anyways.
yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter, I mean,
So let me know how it continues. We have an enforcement order to lift and a cease and desist to lift, and, but I think clearly your big problem now is having your items resolved with the building department. And if it doesn't get resolved, we meet again and you let me know how you're gonna proceed to cover that pile for the winter.
I'm gonna say this one time, I'm not covering it, it's going, it has to leave.
If it doesn't, I'm just saying, yeah.
If it doesn't leave, I'm done anyway. I have to get rid of that.
All right, thanks. Sorry. Good luck.
Do I need anything from me, signatures or anything? Cause I thought I was supposed to sign something. With some code that Andrew Gola sent.
Code,
Some, I don't know what you guys have, protocol and bylaws. and
I don't
whatnot.
have anything with me for you to sign.
I was informed that.
Yeah, again, we, conservation and stormwater, nothing else we try to get involved with.
All right, old business,
Have a
Pumpkin
good
Lane,
night.
Brindle Lake, sediment
Oh,
cleanup.
Jay,
Do you want your pictures back?
I think you took the elastic before you came up.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. The last time we were here, Art was here, and he had kind of discredited a lot of Alton Stone, who was our expert on this, saying that he wasn't an expert. He said that the tools that he used to do the bathymetric survey were not correct and couldn't have given accurate results. Alton wasn't here at the time, and I think it's important, before this commission makes their final decision, to allow Alton to explain his side and on the sediment issue, and why, what is, I think he did explain his background 2 meetings ago when he was here. But I would just like to give him an opportunity for this board to hear what he has to say as far as the sediment, where it came from, how much is out there, and how the bathymetric survey was completed, because certainly Art did not think that it was done properly, nor did he think that the sediment could have possibly come from these 2 locations. So, Alton, if you can take it from there and give him the information.
I can. A couple of comments, just introductory. I don't know why a soil scientist should be any more knowledgeable about bathymetric surveys than an engineer or a hydrologist. The point is, I've used that same method.
Can you speak up, sir?
For the permits under the Department of Dam Safety. And I don't know why anyone thinks it's not a good method. Was there any reason given? Like I said, I've used that several times and it's just fine. And
They should have been here at the same time to avoid this back and forth, so Alton, is there any way you can just communicate with Art directly? I don't understand why he was here last time, you were here now, this is gonna just keep going back and forth. Why wasn't this conversation had it?
I'll talk with him or meet with him, whatever, but, you know, I've used it before and I don't see any problem with it. It was acceptable to the Department of Dam Safety to estimate how much water was in mill ponds for their dam permits and safety and such, and I don't see why it's not applicable here. To be honest with you,
Rose
giving
just,
me a reason.
I'm not gonna speak for Art.
I'm not saying there isn't a better way, but I think under the circumstances, ours was just fine, the methodology. We don't have a small fortune, the Brindle Lake Association, to go out there and take core samples the whole way or something of it. I don't think that's gonna be practical. I think we did it just fine. I mean, I stand by what we did. But, one general comment I make, although soil is the material we're dealing with here, the erosion of soil, but nothing in this project, the principles, are restricted only to soil. They're applicable to any granular material. Engineers use, Stokes' law is one of the main ones we're dealing, Stokes' law of differential settling, which determines how fast particles will settle granular particles will settle in the liquid. And that's one of the key things is the water sediment laden water comes down from the brook and hits the pond. You know, material drops out at different points based on Stokes' law. It's used by engineers for water treatment, wastewater treatment, industrial operations. I think gold mining uses it, or separate gold processing. It's a function of the specific weight of the particle and the surface area of the particle and its shape. So sand grains tend to be more rounder, and so they're heavier and they settle out quickly. All right. Silt particles are basically, silt and clay particles are much flatter, if you will. They have a bigger surface area and they're relatively light, the material. So they don't settle out as quickly. And so they can be carried a distance and settled out later when they get out, as we demonstrated, to the deeper water. And the previous gentleman brought up the correct principle, which is momentum. You know, you need momentum here. Momentum is mass times velocity. You know, if you had a little ramp in there and you rolled a bowling ball down the ramp and you hit the wall, it has a lot more momentum than a tennis ball is going to have. So the momentum is a principle here. When the brook water comes down, the stream water, and hits the pond, it's not like it's running into a wall that boom stops it. It's not. It's at the same elevation pretty much as the surface of the pond, large new parts of it, and they're kind of going to go out to the surface of the pond and work its way through, and it doesn't have one slug of momentum. It's continual momentum as the water comes down the hill, the mass of water coming down the hill down the stream with a certain velocity is continually pushing the other water ahead of it further out into the pond, and materials gradually settle out with time. So it's kind of a surface, it's almost a surface phenomenon. When the stream water comes into the pond, it's flowing up over the surface as well as it may be at some depth. And that's, to me, a key point, that it can carry out to the middle of the pond as it slowly settles out, with a constant source of momentum of the other stream water coming and pushing it along. This is kind of maybe an odd example here, but from the Amazon River can be detected. You can see the Amazon River 2 miles out into the ocean. The size of that one. Now we're not comparable with that, obviously, but it's just an example that with enough momentum and enough volume, the material can be carried a very far distance. You know, we're just on a way smaller scale, but the principle is the same, in my opinion, that it could be carried out to there. And I think that's what we pretty much demonstrated with the bathymetric survey, that there was sediment out there. Silt, and I see no reason why it couldn't be out there. And if the silt isn't coming, I walked up to the property. I wasn't able to go on the actual construction site because we're restricted, but from the side of the road I got a good look at it, and that's just open bare soil. I mean, that stuff just erodes like no tomorrow. If that was left open for a year, you could expect somewhere in the point of probably 11 metric tons of soil to be eroded off that hill. It's just off that open space here. It's just like an unplanted agricultural plot that someone plowed it up and left it there and never planted anything on it. And it's the way it goes. And that's all data from the Bible of agricultural soil, which is Brett Buckman and Brady. I took several courses in soil science myself, so I mean I'm familiar with dirt as anybody, and I'm an approved soil evaluator by the DEP for Title V. And so I don't know where else that soil would be coming from if it wasn't for that open space. Like I said, I went up and looked at it. There's a really sharp gully that goes right down through it there. you know, and that's been eroded right out of it, so that didn't happen by some other means, that happened by water coming down and digging and just pushing the soil out with its momentum and carrying it on down through the culverts and the swales and eventually to the stream and then to the pond. And that whole area is just open to sheet flow and rill flow to carry the soil away. You know, like I said, if you left that open for a year, you'd have something in the order of 31 metric tons of soil going into the going into Brindle Lake. That's how it works. I don't know else I can tell you for the moment. I can't imagine where else it would come from if it's not coming from that open slope that's up there.
So,
If someone's got another idea, is it, you know?
so at this point, even if Art Allen was here, they wouldn't agree with each other, correct?
And I thought it's important for this commission to hear both sides.
Right,
And understand that.
Right.
And based on what this commission decides,
right,
if they're gonna issue an enforcement order, clean it up or not,
right.
I need to make sure that they've heard everything,
heard
because
everything.
then if I need to file a complaint with DEP,
Right.
then I need to, I will obviously be explaining our experts'
Right.
advice versus
Right,
Art's
Well,
information.
I'm just talking practically. If the soil didn't come from that open land that is not stabilized in any fashion that I see when I was there, that was probably 3 weeks ago, where's it coming from? I mean, that's why we have erosion control, because when you open up a piece of property like that, the soil erodes. That's the whole principle behind this thing. And where else would it possibly be coming from? I mean, I believe residents there have shown pictures and videos of the erosion happening and the stream of silt that's being carried out into Brindle Lake.
I don't think it was ever a doubt that the soil from the construction site got into the lake. I don't think anyone's doubting that, especially myself who have been there so many times and watch it from different
Well, I think-
angles and different times. I think what's being not in agreement is the amount of accumulation on the bottom of the lake. That's what is debatable, correct? Would you agree with that, Mark?
I would agree with it. I would say that what Alton has said, and this is what bothered me with Art, and I would have had Alton here on the last meeting. I didn't know that he could have been here or should have been here. He was here 2 meetings ago, and Art wasn't here. Now, Art was here last meeting.
Right, because he
and we
had,
didn't have him.
right.
Right, and I understand it, but.
He's not, we
But I
don't
have to-
request him to come, it
Right.
was his client that
But our
requested him.
association has to pay every time that we have Alton on the phone. Alton doesn't do work for free. So
course.
if I knew that he should have been here last time, I'd have had him. But I
Yeah.
thought, because we already went over
Yep,
his stuff,
yep,
but after listening to Art, I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on what the position is. And his position is because Art clearly said that there's no way that could have accumulated out there from these 2 projects.
correct,
And being a hydrologist specialist, he's saying that absolutely it could have. And that's what I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of.
correct,
Because I know you guys have to make a decision.
right, so,
And
Tom,
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
and it's
haven't-
nothing to do against any of your projects or what's going on there, but I live on a river, okay? It comes down, a little river comes down my front yard, it goes into a small pond, then it goes into Pike's Pond. Both of those entrances right now, and there's no construction going on anywhere near me or up the river anywhere, and there's still sediment, tons of sediment coming into the small pond and all the ways into Pike's Pond. And I mean a ton of sediment. It's just, I think with the weather that we've had, the rain that we've had, it's starting a lot further up the river, this weather's coming down and bringing the sediment down. And it could be from both places, but I'm just telling you what I have, exactly what it's like, okay? In the small pond, I'm gonna try and have it dredged. It's a fire pond in front of my house. And Little River goes right through my front yard, then it eventually ends up in Buffum Dam. But just so
I
you
can-
understand what I'm,
Right.
what I'm seeing and what I see at my own place, okay?
And we have the videos showing that every other water source that's coming into that ditch that goes into the
Pond is crystal clear, except for what's coming off that property. In
Like I said,
one of
I'm
those
just telling you
torrential
what
rains.
it's
No, I
a similar
understand it, I'm
situation,
just saying that's, I understand that, because I knew that was a contention from the builder at one point. And that's why when we had one of those heavy rains, we went over there and filmed it. There was nothing in any of the waters coming down either side hill or from the main stream. And the only place that had that silt-filled water was coming off of those projects. So I don't know what else to tell you, other than we have people who are out there swimming in that cove that we never had this sediment until this project happened, and now we have it. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard Alton, who is our expert, because it is an issue, we feel, that was caused by these two properties. And should the commission decide that they're not gonna issue an order, and I understand you guys have to listen to both sides and make that determination. I just wanted to make sure he's on record as having said it, and when we have to go to the next step, we just go to the next step, that's all.
You're not here last time, so our Ally addressed the commission and gave his professional opinion, so where we are right now, it's the commission tonight. I would like to request to make a determination whether or not you're lifting the enforcement order that we issued to the builder, based on the fact that you are in agreement that the work he has done, it complies to what we request, or make a determination to go further on the enforcement order and let him know that you don't agree that the work he has done has complied what you have requested, and ask him to do additional cleanup. So, but,
Sorry to interrupt. Is part of our enforcement order also include additional stabilization on the lots as they exist now?
no, it's just, it was to hire a professional to help with the cleanup from sedimentation. And we received the paperwork from our Ally, who he hired, saying that the cleanup has been done, and that's what he believed that was needed to be done.
Oh, no, I got that part. I didn't know if
Yeah.
the enforcement order also included, in addition to that, any other work they needed to do to stabilize the two work lots now, so it doesn't happen again.
Oh, yes, and that has been done.
That's what I'm.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, so the stabilization part has been done per the enforcement order, yes.
Okay.
But the cleanup,
Is the cleanup debate.
they believe they're not. So the commission has to make a determination tonight. Either
The
way,
board can make that decision.
you need to, it's their responsibility.
We have to decide on which
You need to
which
decide
expert
it.
we're gonna,
Because he needs to move forward. If you believe that he did enough, then you need to say so. And if you believe that he didn't, then you need to force him to continue doing that. The enforcement order it came from the commission. So we need to lift it, or we need to enforce more. Because if we lift the order, then he's gonna go to DP, which he has the right to. He's gonna present the findings from Alton, and he's gonna present the finding from our Allen, and then DP is gonna look into it, and then DP is gonna go to the site, and DP is gonna make their own determination, and they're gonna go from there. But he can't take that step until the commission makes the decision.
I hear you, pass the buck.
I personally think that's the best way to go.
Exactly.
I don't know, that's a decision that you guys
Yeah.
need to make.
I have to be excused from this decision.
Yes, you have to excuse yourself.
Recuse.
Recused, yep.
So, make a motion that, as far as.
I need a
we're concerned,
motion.
That they did what they were supposed to do to comply with. the
So I need
enforcement
to, which way you're going, are you lifting the enforcement order or ordering it to be further?
So to go to the DP, we have to lift the enforcement order.
Can I say something? That's, we have to do, we
Can you?
built into the pond.
Rose,
I'm
can you
sorry.
say something?
Yes, I'm sorry, it's just the,
That's the enforcement.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Alton.
hi, Alton.
Hello? Are you asking me a question?
Oh,
No.
No, I thought you had something to say.
Well, I'm just, just trying to get the key issues here that seem to be at the heart of the debate. In other words, that construction site has been open how long now?
2.5
Between
years,
the two of them?
2.5 years,
A little over 2 years, I would say.
yeah.
2 years, okay. This is coming from Buckman and Brady. For an, as I said, an agricultural soil, that area is probably, I estimated, roughly 2 acres. Does that sound right? Something like that?
I couldn't tell you.
But
It's-
regardless of what you
we-
tell us,
we-
it's not gonna change our decision. Because you're
Pardon?
telling us your background and why you believe what you believe, and we got another expert tells the other. For these
Well,
guys to
I'm
bring
just-
it
I'm
to the
giving you-
state,
I'm giving you a point here if I can, sir.
Okay.
I'm giving you a point that out of one of the most respected soil books there is, they state that roughly 2 acres, you can get in a year 1,100 metric tons of sediment eroded for it. That's based on their analysis and experiments and all of that thing. So if that thing's open for 2 years, you can easily get the amount of soil from it that is out into that lake now.
Yeah,
That's, to me, a given.
for me.
that
They're
you
just
can-
gonna
it's gonna
pass the
erode.
buck
If it's been there a
anyway.
whole 2 years open, for goodness sake.
No, that's what he did.
That was my only point
That came
I
from
just
our
wanted to
audit.
make.
Oh, okay.
Because there seems to be some question, did it come from up there? And it could easily have.
Thanks,
This
Alton.
isn't me, this is Buckman and Brady talking.
It appears for the number of times we've come here, though, that you want us to go to the state. That way, the town is not affiliated with anything that happens in the future. Is that correct?
That's the province of the, let's say the applicants, the Prindle Lake Association. I'm only technical, they have to make the decision how they wanna proceed.
Yeah.
All right, I need a motion,
What's the decision though
It's a
before?
decision.
yeah.
Motion to lift the citizen to cease.
second,
All in
No, it's
favor?
it's an enforcement order.
Okay, come on.
well, it's the enforcement order. Motion to lift the enforcement order.
Thank you, Alton.
All
Second.
right, this gives you
Thanks,
the,
Al.
what we're doing here, it's giving you the option to go to the state, which I think is going to be the best thing for you. That's my opinion.
And the best thing for you.
I think
It
it's a
makes
win-
it
I think it's
easier
a
for you
win-win for
guys.
everybody.
Yeah, well, you're
Okay,
just
well.
passing the buck, that's all, so
Oh,
that's
all right.
fine.
Well,
Not a big deal. We've been here enough
yeah,
time.
good night.
I will have that determination written down.
Aren't you glad
and
you
I'll
came
have that
back?
copy sent to you.
Yeah.
You'll have everything.
I mean, I don't mind seeing you, but I mean, did you walk back?
Okay, and then make sure that what he, proposed to explain to the board today is in writing, so you can add that too, so it's on the record. And if you wanna wait for the
Any
minutes,
accidents right in
then
front of
you
your
can
place
just
from all
have
the
the
trucks going in and out?
same thing.
No. The cops are
Okay.
there.
All right,
I
thank you.
think real
Except for
good.
the one
The
Rachel
cops are
saw.
there. They get all my people in and out. I tell all my customers, just get down to the cop, put your direction on, he'll let you out.
Sure?
We need a motion to adjourn, that's his job.
Oh, no, we have
No,
something
the
else,
last
yes.
one.
So, can we discuss the reorganization of the commission tonight?
I don't know if we have enough people.
I think we have
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm on the fence still.
Okay,
I think we, yeah, wait.
So, yeah, who else is, who are we missing?
Mitch,
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 he's not
that's
gonna
it.
be back for a while because he's recovering.
Erica's the one, she,
Erica has resigned,
That was quick.
yeah.
What'd you do when I wasn't here to get rid of her? I mean, not get rid of her, I didn't mean it like that, but never move on.
Yeah, she showed up.
I know
She
she
never
was
came.
sick.
She came
She was
once.
sick supposedly.
She had COVID.
She was full of COVID, didn't show up, and then I asked Rose how she's doing, she said
Yeah.
she's pulled out.
Well, when we organize, I will, if I'm elected, want to be elected.
So I
I'll-
don't think it's a part of being elected, I think we just need to know if you were willing to step down or not.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you're not,
Yeah.
then I can just cross this out of here,
Yeah,
because,
no, I'll, if it's voted towards me, I'll say.
so you are not, you no longer wants to step down? I just wanna know, so I can cross it.
Yes.
Cause the only reason I put it here is because you showed the interest of stepping down, and we need to,
Well, that's, no, but it's, you still have to
we have to rotate.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
either that, or if they wanna vote it, however you wanna do it, whatever you gotta do. It
So
doesn't
we
make-
need to vote for a chair, we need to vote for a vice chair. And Mitch is not interested in being the chair or a vice chair, so why don't we make this vote tonight? Because I need to have a vice chair in this commission, I don't have one. we can vote for a chair and a vice chair all tonight, since we have a majority of the members here.
I'd like to make a motion. Mr. O'Malley, say the chairman.
First, I need to know, you're no longer interested in stepping down. That's correct, okay, so Ron made a motion, so now the commission can vote to accept
Yeah.
the
Nominate
motion.
somebody else, or whatever, you know, it's, whoever.
You're gonna stay on chair, I'm not gonna run against you, I'll just be
Yeah.
vice chair.
He, there was only an option because you
Yeah,
showed
no, I-
interest in
Change his
stepping
mind.
down.
Yeah.
I have no problem, but I said I could just be vice chair,
Okay,
when you
so
can't
we
make
can-
it,
that's-
when you can't make it.
I don't know, the
I'll do
commission
it.
has to vote, so
And we'll
I
go
had
vice
nothing to do
chair.
that. yeah.
Right.
So Ron made a motion to keep Tom on the, as the vice, as the
As the
chair.
chair.
As a chair,
Chairperson.
sure.
Have to excuse my voice.
You
So
need a
we-
second,
do you
and
second
you
or
need
just
an all
vote?
in favor or all opposed?
No, we need a roll call.
Oh, okay.
I,
Okay, I'm gonna have to look in that another time because you showed the interest in stepping down, I didn't go into the regulations, but it appears that you have to rotate every year. But I didn't look into that because you showed interest in stepping down, so now I don't know what to do.
Well, you just said what to do. We're gonna vote on this right now.
she's, right, but.
Right,
Right,
but
but she
it
wants-
Yeah, double
appears
check
that
everything.
there is policies that, like the Board of Selectmen, every year, they change
The
But
chair,
who-
yeah,
who-
the chair goes to vice chair, the vice chair goes to chair, or they get voted on.
That's
So-
selectmen. That's not
right, but she's
conservation.
saying she's gotta look for
I
conservation.
never looked into
to see
it
if there's
because he
anything.
showed the interest.
Okay,
Of stepping down.
So now I don't know how to proceed,
so then we'll just won't do anything then.
I guess.
Tonight.
Wait
Sorry
till,
for the
wait till,
curveball.
wait till next, next meeting then.
Yeah,
Alright.
I just don't know how to proceed and I don't wanna break any policies because I really never looked into it because,
Well, no one else has ever
You
looked at
came
it.
to me.
No one else has ever looked at it for 35 years.
And there's a
Right.
big difference. The big difference is, everybody's on a payroll. We're not.
Right, but it's still, if there's a policy
there is
in
a policy
appointed,
anywhere,
in
I don't know.
boards,
Yeah.
boards, then,
Well,
Simple,
the other
simple,
option is if
simple.
nobody wants it.
right,
yes.
If everybody diffuses it, then
right.
Yeah.
I just don't know because I didn't look into it because there was no need to.
I need a motion
Okay.
to adjourn.
Tony.
Motion made.
Second.
Oh my gosh, it's too long.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay.